Alright. Are you ready? Because I don't know if you've been... Well, you've probably been ready. And I'm finally ready. For the thrilling conclusion. At least I really hope. I think so. Uh, I muted my mic. My bad. The thrilling conclusion of Recipe for Turnabout. Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary pals, or guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. And then today, I kind of already said it, but we are going to be finishing Recipe for Turnabout. I forget everyone's names. It's been like a week since I played because I had to finish finals. But I mean, we know who did it. We've kind of know who did it for a while, and now we just got to prove it. So let's just get right into it. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well, and I ended on a giant mystery. That's true. We still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Let's be real. We've solved a lot of it, Phoenix. Get with the program. You okay, Nick? Yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. Oh, it's Gumshoe. Okay. I thought I was gonna beat the T-Gray guy. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. Look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help. Oh, it's one of the, fragrances. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy, too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. It was a small bottle that turned up in Travian's kitchen a couple of days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? It doesn't have a label on it either. So that's probably the poison, because we haven't got an answer on that yet. And it doesn't smell. Finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So? What is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. Gumshoe looks like this comic book character. He is kind of comic booky. It's medication. Oh, is that where the missing medication went? Medication? Yeah, for years. Topical use only, apparently. For years? You mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elk was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elk's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Okay. Victim's ear medicine, found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour, and they might have gotten some on the prints, but, it's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Literally, because it's my imposter. Among Us reference. Anyway, January 8th, 10 a.m., District Court Courtroom number 4. Also, I regret to inform you, despite putting no spoilers in the title, well, to no fault of anyone else's but my own, I was reading up a bit on Godot, because I like his theme. I went into the comments, and I saw something. And I kind of connected the dots on who Godot is and what his backstory is. So that is going to have a significantly less impact on me, the reveal. I'm going to be like, what? I didn't know. Oh, that's crazy. Anyway. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. And we'll get underway at once. Yesterday, we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured. Oh, now, okay, the earpiece is clearly defined. Couldn't see it before. The victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? His theme's gonna kick in. Yep, there it is. Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Some of the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here, he was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well. The first witness take the stand. Oh, he's finally up in here. Kinda wished he wouldn't show up. Well, I guess we gotta get all the tax and debt stuff out of the way. And you are? Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and the lead chef of Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur. As you could see, I am la pert and Becky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Tribulations' kitchen. Isn't that right? Was you, monsieur? What? Was Godot there? Everything feels right. Oh, okay, he's just gay. Okay, yeah, I think we kind of knew that already. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened the day at Tribulations. Oui, volunteers. I think I said that last one wrong, but okay. Alright, what do we got going on? When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decos that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. The cup, the earpiece, and the glasses, he would have seen everything in reverse, no? Well, but Victor was sitting horizontal, though. Because they're the dividers. Blueprints of the crime scene. Because we know Victor was here. So unless he was looking diagonal... Huh, I don't know. Okay, mirror! Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. So I assume we're not gonna do anything with the mirror? I don't know. Okay, first things first. Do that. There's 2 customers in my restaurant. I believe that's true. Who were these 2 customers exactly? Of course, the young man who died. And the other, not so young man. We're referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Okay, well, we all know no one else saw the other man. Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? Guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. Art Deco... having a large mirror between the tables. How big of a mirror are we talking here? Well, something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high. Let's see, if 1 meter is about 1... Holy glass in a frame, that's huge! I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Is there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. I mean, no, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Let's ask about this. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. There's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies. But...
Objection!
You didn't ask, right? You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? The mirror was delivered to Tribune the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Tribune, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Huh. If you want to doubt someone, try it. Look in the mirror. Oh, sick burn! Alright. I'm sure the person looking back on you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Okay. That's what the cup, earpiece. He would have seen everything in reverse. Didn't we agree that his glasses were on the left side? I think it might be something to do with this last one. Everything. He would have seen everything in reverse. Hey Nick, we should take a second and think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again? Boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. Okay. So it was his left ear. And he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. It says, if you saw everything he described reflected in the mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? That clears up all the problems of the testimony, I guess, who does it? It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but... Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. That just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony, we just gotta dig deeper. Let's go through the evidence real quick. This isn't anything related to his hand, neither is that. Yeah, this was right-handed. So he says left hand. Okay, well that makes sense according to the mirror thing. The day of the incident, there was a note saying meet with the tiger. Computer virus. I don't have any evidence. Unless it's this. Because this says the left side. Try music goes hard. It does. Especially in the second game. I need to send you some of the music from the second game. What if I do this?
Objection!
Let's go. That's what I was thinking. Because, yeah, the HMD was on the left side no matter how you look at it. Okay, the coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green leg side of his pecs, whatever he said. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong, it was his left ear, without a doubt. So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement, you see, monsieur. Now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order! Order! Mr. Wright is correct! For once! I finally agree with him. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
Objection!
How bitter. Wright, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. He's throwing it at me, isn't he? Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? Don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume? I broke the vase, sorry, apologize. I mean, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. What's the most striking thing about Mr. Elk? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elk's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Huh. Well trained. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. What did he say by doing that? Oh, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Kudo's good. The one time I don't do an impression. Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on. Tell the court. We're all ears. Wait, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. My lord, is everyone sitting comfortably? The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. I don't think that's how mirrors work, but okay, go on. So there's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. Oh, you mean... okay, I see. I thought he was still sitting here. Okay, so we're saying he's sitting here now. That's going to be very important going forward. So that was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a nutty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please. Okay. This one could possibly be a little tricky. It was dividing the two halves. Run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? Wait, really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way.
Objection!
Look who's talking, right? Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things. But this is my seat in the courtroom. Tribulations' charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Trite. I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant. Only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. I mean, no. Because looking at his apparent... It's probably gonna be wrong, but let's do this.
Objection!
Yeah, okay. You know, I just, for my own sake, I had to do the floor plans. Because literally, assuming the mirror is here, there's a gap here, so he still would have seen the victim there. But let's also think about it. There's a mirror, it's gonna reflect this one. So if he's sitting here, you can only see him from this table. Yes, you wouldn't be able to see him from over here. Unless if we do some wonky... No, because the mirror would block him here. Yeah, okay, so my thought process is right in kind of that regard. I guess we'll press him. Why not? Where would that be? Oh la la, look, oh, you, look, oh, you lean towards me. Oh, look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. No, no, no. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once. I attract the older ones too, you know. Handsome, shall I choose you too? I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. I bet she has milk and cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Yeah, I will tell you, there was only one seat from which you could have seen. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? Well, monsieur, it's obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. This is probably going to be the broken vase comes into play. The victim would have been reflected on a mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would see everything, no? Since you don't see you were sitting that day when the poisoning happened. When we were sitting at the table next to the victims? Why does that seem kind of odd? Do I... Hold on. Do we still have the picture? Yeah! Boom! Okay. Yeah, the vase wasn't broken there. So I either used the picture or his own testimony. I don't know which one. I'm gonna say... the picture.
Objection!
Okay. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. Oh my god, I'm gonna get the picture right for once. I know what it is. Oh my god. Should not exist. Sounds like you're describing yourself, right? Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. It is... this one. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have with the witness's testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. I'm talking like the judge, and that's because I know it's Victor's testimony! There's only one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there's an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at that table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, right? That's impossible. The seat's the only one Kudo could have seen from the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There was only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribulations that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu!
Objection!
Don't try to confuse the court, right? Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase. Well, the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene, but he said he didn't touch anything else. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his own words, I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear? You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. And because Godot is saying this, I need to overwrite my save so I get infinite shots. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Wright, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then we'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. The victim was a phony. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet, there's one very simple answer that clears them all up.
And what is that?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter. A phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. Oh, okay. This is cool. So we got a double imposter. Now this really is a game of Among Us. Obviously, unlike the victim, yeah, okay, I already said that. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake.
Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom.
Right, Grams, why don't you clear out of here, huh?
What did you say?
That's right. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elk and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection.
Getting real trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... The servant girl brought him a Javakino, but she put something in it. That's the servant girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but...
There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection.
You insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... This is also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening.
That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
This is where the money lending comes into play. Oh la la, it's most difficult for me.
Objection.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You were under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Oh, oui. The victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. Oh, this is the track I really like hearing. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. So there were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Mr. Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony thrill acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Chef would demand pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. Oui. For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please.
You took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Alright. I think I know where I'm going with this. It's gotta be something with the time. Because we know it has to be at least 1:30. Can the restaurant alone? Remember the old man arrived, there were no other customers. We got 41 lottery. I'm very excited. Did you see him? No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000!" Presumably the defendant heard that too then, correct? Maggie, she looked like a poor little frightened dove. What about Mr. Kudo? The old man choked on some bird seeds that got stuck in his throat.
Seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
Approximately 5 minutes later, the poisoning occurred. And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur. Sorry, what do you mean? There is a renowned chef, John Armstrong, and a tragic poet, Clarice Armstrong. This guy has a split personality the whole time?
Clarice?
Oh yeah, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef and $500,000 of debt. Cooking for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. It is called Pourquoi. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la court. Please don't. No, there was no time for a phony to do the act. Okay, more about this time thing. You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the old man to call from the payphone. Trying to call home all of my change I spent on you. By your own argument, right? The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed.
Yeah, it seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas? I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elg, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah, you mean that's when the phony staged his act? I'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony.
The restaurant alone.
Was he alone at his table as well?
Oui, I saw him from the kitchen.
Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Objection! Unfortunately for you, Wright, yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite.
What kind of coffee has he been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing why I say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. Man arrived not long after him. Oh man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee. I drink your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime.
I said it was worth one sip and nothing more.
So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about... what time was it? This is what we gotta know. Out of curiosity, about time what was it? I ruined the moment. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh, no, I cannot remember, monsieur. Oh my god, dude.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. Crime was reported at 2:25 by a kind of scary old man, sir. I'm using the judge's voice. Crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir.
Yep, and that's all we needed.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened around 20 minutes after he arrived, so the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10, no? Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? Time of the day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Let's go! Yeah, okay. I don't even need to read the rest of that, okay? Look at this. Boom. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Quoi? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Wait, that must be the show my uncle was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder. You said the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, I'm sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving the lunch menu.
Get to the point, right? If you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
It's on the air at 1:30.
Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he'd won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, among us, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Tribulations that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly does seem that way. I mean, if that was the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection!
What a performance, right? You were almost on a roll. Sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation or rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's just now after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain, then, where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elg was already dead.
It's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
Thank you, Wright. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? No, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? Under the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. That customer was the phony Glen Elg. Then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? No!
The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must save your file and then continue. You must provide us with the proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Wright. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with this intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Elg concealed?
Let's take a look at my evidence real quick. It can't be under the tables because the cloth doesn't go down that far. Meat was Tigray. That's between 130 and 230. Found a tender lender, made a cardboard, painted. Okay. I want to say inside Tribulations because we know Armstrong was connected. We haven't talked about the kitchen yet. The medication was there. It's gotta be inside Tribulations. It would have had to have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been inside somewhere in Tribulations.
Interesting. But where could have a body been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed. It's in the kitchen. The body was hidden here!
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in the location? It's the medicine! Right? Found in the kitchen. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No, I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life! I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interesting enough, Your Honor. It was found in the kitchen at Tribulations. Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain any aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elk visited the Herbida clinic and was given medication that day.
You can't be serious.
The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elk. Glenn Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen. Under that table. No, probably not. And at which time, this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu. Yes, you know what I'm talking about to say. You know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No.
Order! Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Glenn Elk?
Never! I cannot do such an horrible thing.
Mr. Godot?
The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Has to be under 17. I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, Chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear? My H-deficient friend. Chef Ultimate, Paul, please, you must hear me out. This is the trap. Listen to me. Por favor.
Yo hablo español. Mr. Armstrong and por favor in Spanish.
What? I'm only gonna ask you once. Did you do it? No. No, no. Absolutely not. Let's hear it. You got one shot, right, Gramps?
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel.
Oui, it is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
That sounds good to me.
Matches what we know.
You were forced by who?
I cannot say it or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table? There was. There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. Yeah, I think we knew that the whole time.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Alright. Time to play. I know what happens, but am I enough steps behind that I can reverse engineer this? A man. Who was that man? I know who it is, but like, can you say it? What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say it. I fear for my life. He's really scared. I always have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him.
But why would you go along with this man?
There's a reason. We either have to show his debt, or just show him Tigre. What reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur. Yes? Surely you could not expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that.
And a bit too male.
I can't finish this cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it with evidence. So there's a reason. Well, I guess it's not a contradiction if I just show his debt. Or maybe... Well, I don't know, let's try it.
Objection!
There we go. You have a $500,000 debt, don't you?
$500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed the money. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. Mr. What's his name? Furio Tigre! A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything. This man told you. Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong! The tiger. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body in the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can safely say the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. Poison in the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it, I was not. It's despicable.
Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
"30 minutes.
What?
Trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, right? No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way.
Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. You will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand, and that is when Ben's voice will go away. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
Alright.
Alright, we're gonna keep going, I think. Because I know where, this is it. We have all the evidence to get him in.
So we're finally gonna see the tiger on the stand. You've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now. He said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're gonna need.
Hey, pal!
Detective Gumshoe? What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot.
It's not a top knot.
Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? This is Phoenix. I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Ah,
No kidding.
you gotta have something you need me to do, pal, anything.
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. You can get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour.
an hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you can get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour.
You bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? common reasoning says it's a small bottle, because it has unidentified prints. Could also be the CD. I mean, let's try this. This makes more sense. What are you doing, Nick? Detective Gumshoe's gonna check some... Oh, no, it is that obvious.
You're right, actually that's been gnawing on me too.
Did you look into it for us? Awesome. And what about the thing I asked you to run a check on?
Oh, that, sure, I'll see what I can do and see if I've got any spare time.
Spare time? I feel so unimportant right now. Small bottle given. Okay, it's just that. I was waiting for it to be like, you made the wrong decision, now you lose that piece of evidence, and now you are soft-locked for the trial.
Okay, I'll get the stuff to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Literally. Separate the phonies from the real guys.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre?
I even examined him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. It's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites.
Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the record.
Ah! Don't hide it on the table, Maya, unless there's room for me down there, too.
Would you mind? What you used to say to me? Nothing, I didn't say nothing, honest.
I would have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge.
I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky?
No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor.
Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal.
That's it. We're doomed.
Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was that calling me here?
There's no need to shout. We can all hear you.
What'd you say?
There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick! Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct?
Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, Mask Boy.
You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird?
Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course, well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please, tell us what you did on the day of the murder.
The real culprit was the friends we made along the way. I mean, we got the real culprit in the trial now. Like, he's here. So...
Phoenix Wright. You was the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gotta regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
Culp. Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick! Alright. See what we can't do here.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tenderland every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta.
At last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination plan. What is it, please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that?
I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins.
Lowlife? Me? I just got congested. Hold on.
Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me.
That's one loan contract I refuse to sign.
I don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you dangle with the tiger.
I love good spectator sport. Just a minute, that's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? Hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. You're on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too.
Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. Oh no. This is gonna suck. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. Court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick! Come out from under there already, would you, Maya?
Alright, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. Because I'm gonna say something. And they're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna bill $50,000, and then I'm gonna get a penalty.
This seems like the only thing I can press on.
By Violetta, you're talking about the Cadaverini families. Yeah. We don't want to cross them, or you's gonna end up winding sleeping with the fishes. Once the Godfather finds out you've been dragging Violetta through the mud, he'll do you in.
Sorry, I couldn't quite put it all together towards the end there. He said that just like Viola, didn't he? I have a feeling this might not be the right time to probe him about her.
You said something about the alibi. Let's press harder. Mr. Trigger, what do you want?
If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
It's a dead end, Triton, you know it. Remember the rules. No! Pressing the witness without evidence to back up your attack is prohibited. They said earlier the court... Oh, so can I present evidence then? Oh my god. I have receipts on this man. $1 million... Look, you know... okay, well, maybe I don't have receipts. I thought I had receipts, okay?
I guess I was asking about this. How about you haven't ever heard of the incident that occurred at Tribune?
You just got a big mouth, right? You was trying to say I was in on some mob hit? Is that what you was trying to say? Where's your proof then?
Evidence, yes, well,
For an attorney to make an accusation in court must have evidence. That's from Loan Shark the lawyer, a beginner's guide, yeah?
I see you're the studious type, Mr. Tigray. Very good. Why don't you ask him to represent you sometime, Trade? What should I do?
Oh! Article. I got something for this. Mr. Tigray, what do you want?
Alright, if you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
I literally have evidence to back this up! Fuck this game!
Objection!
That ain't working either. But like it does.
This is gonna suck. Tied up in business. Maybe I could get something out of this. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know?
You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is.
Sharp? He's talking about Viola Cadaverini?
She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says. That's where I was.
Seems like a rather sketchy schedule. Here he goes again. Tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder, so now what? Let's leave it. This is the only thing I haven't pressed on. So I take it you got a lot of customers at your black market loan office.
Stuff for the little guys these days. Small businesses are feeling the pinch. Bosses at companies like that want to get in good with me. I'm their best friend.
I see. It's very admirable of you, Witness.
Yeah, well, Denderlander's motto is win through compromise, you know.
Went through compromise? What's that supposed to mean?
Compromise the customer to win, that's what it means. You just got it?
With best friends like you, who needs enemies?
Here, let me spell it out for you, all. You don't pay me back within 3 days, Spiky. I take what's due, and you're stupid. You just follow what I'm saying?
But I'm not one of your customers. Can I ask some more about Tenderlander or not? I'm just gonna leave it for now. Now then, Mr. Tigray, would you mind? Oh my god. What do we do? Okay, I mean, we could do this and see what happens, you know? Yeah.
Objection!
I kind of heard that this was a pain in the ass. This is last year.
Objection!
Congress and just debate in general would be fun if it formatted the trials of this game.
Objection!
That would be cool. Oh, now this one works. The one talking about last year, the day of the murder. Okay. I hate this guy. It's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Oh. Hey, Benjamin, look at the autopsy report. That might... Wait, it doesn't even say the death! Never mind. How was I supposed to know it's December? Or December 5th. Okay, I like this trial until now. This is making me mad. Were you in the office that day too?
If you ain't listening, of course I was. I never set foot outside. I means all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could, please. Mr. Tigray, I'm going to ask you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him for yourself. I was in the office, too, before I never saw that kid before. But this.
Objection!
Yeah! Cool! Mr. Tigray, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elk, but it appears that Mr. Elk knew you.
What?
Mr. Elk left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder! So, Mr. Tigray, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elk. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him! His suit is kind of fire, though. Not gonna lie.
Not bad. He was actually not bad.
Sorry?
I was just messing with you to see how good you were.
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I could do without. Because he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
Who's calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing?
Ruh-roh. So you're saying that you claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth?
I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth.
I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, will you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigray? Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? Never actually met the victim? It's gotta be alive right there.
I mean, I already said it was, but, you know, whatever. It's time I nailed this guy. I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elk. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. Set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tinderlander. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never ever been to that Tribulations joint, is he?
I see. It all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, Wright?
Huh?
It's very strange. According to the manager of the firm where the victim worked, December 3rd was the date he had to repay his loan. He wasn't due to discuss borrowing money, but repaying what he owed. Oh, yeah, maybe he was right. Whatever it was going down at the beginning of December. So you did meet Mr. Elk, then? Hey, right, you might want to cool your jets a sec. At my office, Tenderlander. So your meeting wasn't supposed to be at Tribulations, then? Why would I want to go to a dump like that? If I want to talk with my clients, I get an office decked out for the job. I got the best punching bag you've ever seen in there. Not exactly a professional office you've got there, you know? So you were in your office in the day in question. Also, real quick. Wait around for me and never showed. He didn't show up? Huh. What do you think, Trite? Let's see, how does a dead man get from a French restaurant to a loan shark's office? And you yourself didn't go to Tribulations? What are you trying to pin on me here? Why don't you just come down to my office? We can chat about this thing my way, yeah? I got the best punching bag you ever saw in there. No, I'm good, thanks. Listen up. I ain't got nothing more to say except this. I never been to Tribulations joint. Well, you know the owner. Never. Not even once. Not even once. I was in my office the day that went down. I didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee, capiche? Do you think he really didn't meet Glen Elk? Not likely, because I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing. So you mean that whole testimony he gave was just a lie? Of course, so we can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. I gotta nail him while I still can. And yeah, your name was written on the victim's calendar. Get that old calendar out of my face. I'm the tiger, not a lame horse, you porcupine. Tigers like me eat horses like that for breakfast.
No, witnesses aren't permitted to eat evidence. Though they ever would. Well, there was a case once where a young lady... Anyway,
if you had never met the victim before, how do you explain this note he left? I want to borrow cash from me. You know it was a repayment. I don't know what I do on this one. Oh wait! Matches used for advertising, found lying in Tenderlander. Ah. I was looking right at it. I never been to that Tribulations joint. How do you explain this? Mr. Tigray, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you talking about? Can we wrap this up? Your voice is killing me. We found them in your office at Tenderlander. They're from that restaurant. What? You've really never been to Tribulations before? What was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? Who's been snooping around my stuff too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Quite the contrary, actually. Viola Cadaverini.
Order, order, well, witness. I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me.
I ain't no pussy. Cat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid.
Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony.
This close to proving it was him. He did meet Van Elk that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When they opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out at the table, stiff as concrete. Figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cops' sirens on my way out, and they went straight back to my office. It's probably gonna be something when the cops came.
I see, you didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions.
No problem. Anytime Troy presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Cadeau, that's my job! Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir.
The special express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know since you's paying.
Oh man, doesn't let the rule of the law mean anything around here?
Okay. It's gonna be another one where... saying afternoon... It's either this or this. I'll try this first. You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did? What he was trying to say? Trying to tell me you ain't never been guilty of nothing?
You all have our crosses to bear. You all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this.
Courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it?
Seems you've done it again, Mr. Wright.
No! Did I save this time? I don't know. Careful what you press them on though, or you get penalized. So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tenderlander at all then. Kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you ever seen if there are any issues. Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So that's why you decided to meet at Tribulations.
Objection!
Huh. You're going over old ground again, right?
Sorry.
Oh my goodness gracious.
What did he see? You mean you saw Glenn Elk's dead body? Guess I did, but I only ever saw him from behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat. What time was this? I don't know. Huh? You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches. Round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking endpecker.
Out of interest, Mr. T. Graham. What winds you up the second most?
Huh? What'd you think? Square watches. Is this guy for real? Look, all I need to know is that something bad was going down in that place. I mean, yeah, it's a hat, so I can't get him on that. Also, this kitchen photo. Is this the fake photo? Yeah, I know. So you didn't actually step foot inside the restaurant then? Tiger's a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation. So, when exactly did you pick up the matches? Your match is just inside the front door. My detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking $5 home. Poor Gumshoe, it's almost enough to make a man cry. Where'd this go? What about that? Where's the photo?
Objection!
No, that's not what I wanted to do! That's not what I wanted to do! I just wanted to take a look. I just wanted to take a look. Okay, well, listen, I forget when the last time I saved was, so we'll just watch it play out. Sorry, Maggie. Guess you're guilty in this timeline. Okay. Okay, I did save here. Okay, let's hit the right button this time. Enter. There we go. There's no CD there, and we know the CD was brought in. What if I just try this?
Objection!
No, okay.
Objection!
Okay, I might be stuck on this one for a bit. Supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. That do make sense, yes. Tenderly handmade lunchbox. Door, I saw one ugly scene. Can you elaborate? I think we already did this, but...
Objection!
Oh my god, this is so frustrating. Getting penalized for playing the game is crazy work. Yes, I know we punished you for talking about the ugly scene, but let's talk about the ugly scene, why don't we? I feel like it is something like this. Monday at 1:30.
Objection!
No. Okay, well that's game over. I really should have just re-ran through with all my health. Or what if...
Objection!
Yeah, no. I thought as much. What do I do here? It's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press them fast before I start to think. Yeah, I've pressed them on everything. Oh wait, what was this? This paper wasn't there.
Objection!
It's not that. Okay, I feel like I'm on the right track of like thinking he had to take something else. I just don't know what I'm supposed to prove with it. What if I say your bike is broken so you couldn't go anywhere?
Objection!
No, okay. That would have been a funny one, but... this might be a look-up situation.
Objection!
I already did that. Okay, I'm gonna look it up, because I don't know. I tried so hard and got so far on my own. Okay. Oh dang, I think I'm almost done. Okay, maybe not. Oh, okay, it's a stupid sort of thing. I get it, but also I think it's stupid. He opened the door, he saw... So it's just, he opened the door and he immediately left. But you need to show the floor plans because then you can't see the table from the thing.
Objection!
Okay, I know it's that because I just watched the tutorial. What's the specific one?
Objection!
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I think I got it. You didn't see jack shit. There we go. Okay. Something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. T. Gray? No one escaped the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. Well, not me. RT Game is. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, straight? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. T. Gray. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Fortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the two tables is a tall partition. Why? That's true! And look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. Well, I gotta go back to my stream. Okay. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him.
Objection!
Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Objection!
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glen Elk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. It'll do. This trial's gone on long enough without the obvious questioning being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glen Elk, and impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. If I'm following, it's him? Obviously. The killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. Just think you could pin this on the tiger? Maybe you just don't understand. Tiger is king in the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts! You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Now I'm hiding. Mr. Wright! Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. Who's got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Kudo? Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no. Serving girl brother Majavkino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? It doesn't matter. Fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who put the... Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Found your pen at last, Wright? It was in my pocket. Anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. Oh! The waitress! Oh my god! The waitress was Viola! Because he never saw her face. Oh my god, I just put it all together. Wait, waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? Her! Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender. And I could have brought her up a lot earlier if you didn't fucking punish me for asking questions. Who's making a big mistake? You know who Violetta's grandfather is? Better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Stop shanking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. She had kind of a cackling laugh. I completely forget about her saying that. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when the eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real and once for show. Phoenix, once again, we've already established this. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He was alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? He's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you missed out one important real thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you see? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Bro hit you with a not bad kid. And even though he's basically admitting almost everything, the judge is like, oh, I still can't see why he's the murderer. Looks like we're gonna need to go to, oh my god. Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Trivia between yourself and the victim? Yeah, I loaned out cash, about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. And I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know? Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. L was $50,000. Yeah, well, you've got the vig to take into account. Insurance fills up fast, you know? It's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Where are you reading this from, Judge? Jean's debt. Where are you reading Glenn Elg's debt from? Where you got the numbers from this? Yeah, he was one lucky kid. Got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? It's he has to pay Viola back. Well, not Viola. He has to pay Grandfather Cadaverini back. He was, Okay, I don't know what I get him on. Universe may make one potentially worth millions of dollars. Did he have any way of paying the loan back? Fool was a gambler. He said he couldn't give it up till he landed a big win, so I agreed to help him. Help him, you? Kept hitting him with ideas for ways he could get a big win, but the guy kept losing. So you were helping him for his sake or yours? Went through compromise. You help me, I help you. What's the difference, huh? I don't believe this. Nick, would anyone really ever loan money to someone they thought was unreliable? Like, for example, if it were you, I'd only loan you $5 max. Thanks a lot, Maya. Is it this on this?
Objection!
No. I think it has to do something... It's either the CD or the motive.
Hold it!
Is that because he got won the lottery? It was his last chance at a big win. You can confirm that this is the ticket in question. It's it. Millionaire Radio Show starts at 1:30 p.m. and runs for 10 minutes. It fixes the time you two met with some accuracy. Well, the scene was acted out again 30 minutes later. Also, Mr. Kudo would see it. I can still see the kid's face now. I ain't never gonna forget it. $500,000. This is $500,000.
Objection!
Okay. Redo! Didn't hit his payback date. Tells me he got no way to pay out.
Objection!
It's not that.
Hold it!
After expecting him to pay whole package, $100,000, including interest. It's a real heavyweight punch. Once a client misses a repayment, you call the whole loan in. You want to make it my world? That's all you just gotta know. How many times has Mr. Elg been late with his repayments? Once. How much was he supposed to pay back every month? $50. Sounds like Mr. Elg was in a real sticky spot. At $50 a month, he'd never pay that huge loan off. The waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. Ask how things would have been. Huh? Huh? What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 bucks back, that's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. Tiger's motive, huh? I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. There we go. This is what I was missing. Okay, real quick. To make things a tad easier. his CD.
Objection!
There we go. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owned you, correct? I own the guy the cash, so that's my right. My Phoenix right, if you will. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe that $100,000 is what you were really after.
Objection!
What are you getting at, Wright? What else would a moneylender be after other than money?
Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. That kind of money would only the kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch.
What is that?
Computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
Computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
Guess the beard isn't the only part of His Honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market.
Several $1 million? What
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. Glenn Elg was a programmer, a very highly skilled programmer. That skill is the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection!
Trying to suggest that the witness's motive was to get hold of that program?
Exactly.
The witness may have had poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, right? Man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder.
Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. That's a crazy fact. That's a crazy statement. Phoenix is talking like Godot now.
Seems you have had a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share with us? Why did Mr. Tiger need money to the tune of $1 million?
This right here. Oh, this is all my health, too. In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum! Someone should sue these HMOs! No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue.
But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. I'm not doing the yell. It does it for me.
Order, order, order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright?
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenn Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I.
Lottery win?
Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no other way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. It's crazy. He murdered Glenn Elg and then made his next move.
to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigray posed as Glen Elk, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. Then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like this. Also, I like to imagine, he is really sunburned right now. But I like to imagine when he posed as Glenn, he was fine. That's the only way this can make this work. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too, $500,000 in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigray's plan.
Order! Order! Silence or I will clear the courtroom! You just put on a good show, Spiky. You just want to stay alive in the loan shark business. You gotta be careful. Just saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone. If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
I agree.
You do?
Despite your appearance, you were very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out.
What? Another one, Mr. Wright?
This is a save game kind of scenario. Oh, you fill us all in, right? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigray performed to frame the accused? He posed as me. He's still drinking. And? What's the relevance of that, right? It's just a... Okay, but no, but it was him! The fuck? An intro into what? No, I'm right. I'm right. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I'm correct. I'm correct. He posed as me and got me framed guilty in court. That's what he did. That's what he did to frame... Oh my... Thank God I saved. Okay, well, if it's not, you know, the obvious shit... Did he stain the apron? No, because Maggie said there had ketchup on it. Is it the pin, then? Okay. So it was the... I had the right idea, I just presented the wrong evidence.
What on earth is that?
What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation! Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigray, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me!
What? That's...
The truth.
But... The witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although... now that I think about it... It was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you. Standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago, the Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen!
Objection!
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused man a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him?
Hey. Forget about it, eh? I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Objection!
Have you no pride, sir?
Objection!
isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Wright, here in court, we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godot is right.
Your Honor!
Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No!
The defense has no further evidence. The court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive.
But we've come so far!
You say he impersonated Glen Elk? You say he impersonated you? But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
No! Sucks to be you, Wright. Don't mess with the tiger, you're gonna get mauled, you's got that?
All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. I love how this always happens. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre.
Are we gonna, like, catch him in the lobby on the way out or something? Oh, here we go.
Your Honor, sir.
Wait!
Detective?
Detective Gumshoe? Sorry I took so long, pal.
I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. What is it, detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final, decisive piece of evidence.
What?
What? So can we get on with it? Why are we back in the lobby? Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. I'm not even doing Gumshoe's voice anymore. Who is this? Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So, tell us. The tigers, right? I knew it.
You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, alright.
That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He has laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now.
Huh? What? Why not?
What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on the bottle really doesn't make any difference now.
I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
This was our last chance to help Maggie. I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright, I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe? Maggie? You've been working on something for me?
Oh? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get you out of your hair now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get the evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. But he switched the poison and medicine or something. Oh, hey, this music's coming back. There's Maggie's fingerprints found in her apron pocket. I don't know what this is about, but we have all we need. Yes, Your Honor?
I I guarantee to your recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Wright. Show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. And the Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But you lawyers always know how to blow things out of proportion.
No doubt. Given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence.
He backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, I'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court.
Take that!
This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that victims?
Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We've clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigray.
What? Watch him just be like, "Ah, I did it, okay."
And it's like, oh, that was underwhelming. Oh, they're still yapping.
But Mr. Wright,
What conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? No one here knows what the bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark.
my prints are on that pansy-looking bottle, is that what you saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway?
Phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigray, this is the decisive piece of evidence that'll prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains potassium cyanide. This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison used to murder Mr. L, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigray, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You'd make a good clown, you know that?
What?
Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. You's just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
A bluff?
I can see straight through you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it.
He just admitted to it. Took a second to realize what he did. It's like the thing where it's like it happened in court and it was like I really pulled the he took my purse, it had everything, it had my phone, it had my keys, it had my wallet. There was no wallet in there, ma'am. We really pulled that on him. Like, I thought it would be a twist where he did actually switch the poison. So that's when I clicked on it. And then I was reading the lines, I'm like, oh, we just lied, and we got him to admit he did it. Alright, I know that sounds bad on confession. It broke my heart to put that poison in his coffee.
What? Alright. What? Why has everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle.
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle of cyanide was it. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out. Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in.
Yeah. just now you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You just don't know who you're messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure. The last piece of evidence was phony. That's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. Ah! I don't have the lung capacity for all that water break. This is a top tier breakdown. He looks like the fucking devil. I still got coffee thrown at me, didn't I?
What's going on?
Looks like a blackout. Well done, Wright.
I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you.
I knew it!
Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey.
Godot is probably so pissed because he had it all in there and then his witness just confessed to everything.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe. But if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tiger, Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error.
Seinfeld laugh track. I don't know if you watch RT Game, but when he plays through these games, whenever they say something funny, he plays a laugh track, and he's like, Phoenix, a woman has been murdered. In this case, like, a man has been murdered. Like, I think it's the intro trial of the first game. It's like, the witness lies about when he found the body, and it's like, at that time, there was nobody, or no body to discover. Laugh track plays. Phoenix, this is a murder trial. A woman has been killed.
Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was.
In the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Fiorio Tigre is a truly frightening criminal.
A truly frightening one is the defense attorney over there. Godot.
Well, I am not in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant Maggie Bird after a few of Ben's errors, most of which were his own problem, one of which debatable, but nevertheless, not guilty.
Yay, we did it! Yippee!
That is all. This court is adjourned.
January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago, but now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, guess I'll be heading around. See you, pal. I didn't mean to skip all that, but...
Wait. Detective Gumshoe.
Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie.
God, my Gumshoe voice is fucking dead after doing Tiger all this time. Jesus. Thanks. I love you.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? Oh, well, I was... Well, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around.
Wait up, detective! He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you.
It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use! But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie? You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He had to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. Gotta prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know, I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. It's the lunchbox that he gave me the second time.
Take that!
Literally, take that! Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. That's... a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know? Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? This is like one of the most wholesome endings that a court has had. Aww. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. I look so happy, Jesus. So, the case of the phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. I hope so. I like Maggie. Maggie is like Maya, where she always gets accused of stuff. Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout, the end. I liked that one. That was a good episode 3. Episode 3s are either awesome or, like, the worst. Because I like Turnabout Samurai, I like this one, and then we don't talk about Turnabout Big Top. Alright, now time for the unskippable preview of next episode. Alright, we're definitely saving. Oh my goodness. Good trial, good trial. Turnabout Beginnings is the next one. Alright, next time on Ace Attorney. The girl, let her go! Uh-oh. It's a bridge. Goes around the corner. Walking on the right side of me. Okay, now's not the time to be quoting memes. Shut up! Come closer! And I kill her! Sorry. But you're not going to get the chance. That went a little slower than I thought it would. Oh, damn. Oh, it's like the ending of the first game. Is that me? I think that's me. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It's the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Ooh, animation. This never happens. Terry falls. Oh my god, falls. Kidnapping, murder, sentence, death penalty. Falls because the waterfall and they fell. God damn it. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Also, Chris, puns in this game are very common, and they ruin the moment a lot. Oh, is this going to be another one where there's no investigation? Oh. So it's going to be another Mia flashback like the tutorial in this game, but we're just getting right into it. Okay. So is this just going to be a short one? Is that why it's 5 cases instead of 4? We'll see. Okay, I'm interested now. Okay, I could save here, but I like watching the thing again every time I hop back in. Okay, well, okay. We're gonna end it there. That was a fun case. Thank you, Chris, for watching. And I'm gonna go watch the Mario Galaxy movie
tonight. So, await my Letterboxd review. I kind of hope I enjoy it. I don't know if it's going to be great. I've heard bad things about it. But await my Letterboxd review. Thank you for watching. We are one case closer to the all cases in Ace Attorney trilogy ranked. So await that. Survivor 50 tomorrow. I know! It's going to be awesome. I really hope so, at least. Survivor 50 finale. We'll also talk during that. And that's it. So, thank you for coming to the stream. Have a good night. Yada yada, all that good stuff.